President Bola Tinubu stresses the need to take a stronger position on energy market. Osun State House of Assembly affirms its loyalty and commitment to Governor Adeleke's administration. On the foreign scene, the United Kingdom sanctions 25 people for human trafficking. Good evening and welcome to the major report on OSBC television. My name is Muturayo Ayebali. President Bola Tinubu has stressed the urgent need to take a stronger position within the global energy market and reduce dependency on external pricing. President Tinubu stated this while receiving Dangote's CEO, Adeleke at the State House in Abuja for a private meeting. The meeting highlights the federal government's continued support for private sector-led growth in the oil and gas industry. This followed President Tinubu's June visit to the 650,000 barrel per day Dangote refinery and petrochemicals complex in Lagos. The president also revealed that Nigeria is collaborating with regional partners to create a unified African energy market from refining to regulation and trade flows. Alhaji Dangote will address key structural problems affecting refinery development across the continent, noting that besides poor infrastructure, the biggest problem lies in rent-seeking throughout the petroleum value chain across Africa. But while the federal government said states that opt to reduce electricity tariffs must bear the responsibility for the corresponding subsidy, the Minister of Power, Mr. Adeleke, said that while it did not intend to control entities with regulatory autonomy, it expects them to consider market realities before deciding on tariff adjustments. The ministry also noted that the country's electricity economy can no longer sustain indefinite subsidies, which have contributed to a mounting debt of over 4 trillion naira to power generation companies. The special advisor on strategic communications and media relations to the Minister of Power, Bolaji Tunji, said if states chose to reduce tariffs, they must be prepared to finance the subsidy resulting from such reductions rather than adding to the federal government's already heavy subsidy burden. He urged states to size the physical capacity and engage the governors to ensure they can support any subsidy financing arising from tariff reductions. The Osun caucus of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) says Governor Adeleke will contest the August 8, 2026 governorship election on the platform of the party. The PDP leadership emphasized that the governor will not defect to the All Progressives Congress (APC). This is contained in a communique issued at the end of the PDP caucus meeting held at the Government House, Osogbo, the Osun State capital. The communique was made available to journalists by spokesperson to the governor, Malam Olawale Rashid. The PDP leader stated that majority of the APC members in Osun were opposed to the idea of Adeleke defecting to the APC, when it did not originate from the governor in the first instance. The communique also alleged that some APC leaders, based on entrenched interest, have demonstrated hostility and resentment towards the governor. The caucus said that the majority of PDP members in the state were not happy with the idea of the governor joining APC, but only reluctantly agreed to follow him to wherever he goes to show their love, support, and loyalty to his leadership. The PDP leaders say that the party recognized the fact that Osun is the ancestral home of President Bola Tinubu, which makes him the son of the state. The PDP caucus, however, adopted and endorsed the president for re-election in the 2027 general elections. The leaders of the party also endorsed Adeleke's re-election bid on the platform of the PDP, directing all members in the state to remain in the party. The PDP leaders urged the governor to forge ahead with governance and implementation of his administration's 5-point agenda. While the Speaker of Osun State House of Assembly, Honorable Adeleke, has stated unequivocally that all 25 PDP members remain loyal to the party and to the vision of Governor Adeleke's administration. Addressing newsmen in the Assembly complex, the Speaker, alongside his fellow lawmakers, reaffirmed their loyalty and commitment to the governor. Parliamentary reporter Oluwatosin Oladogun has the details.
In the face of the rising rumors and speculation over the defection saga, the 25 members of the People's Democratic Party bloc in the Osun State House of Assembly has debunked claims of any defections among them. Addressing journalists at the Assembly complex in Osogbo, capital of the state, the Speaker of Osun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Adeleke, alongside his colleagues, stated that the House remains united, focused, and unwavering to its loyalty and commitment to the administration of Governor Adeleke and the People's Democratic Party in the state.
There is no division in this House. There is no defection. There is no crisis. The rumors flying around are simply rumors, and we are not in the business of chasing shadows. We, the honorable members, are men of honor. We are not for sale. We are not moved by noise or pressure. We hold the mandate of our people, and we intend to keep that trust with dignity, loyalty, and a clear conscience.
Egwedo dismissed the recent rumors of defection to opposition parties as a pure mischief and attempt, he said, to distract members from their statutory mandate of representation. He urged the public to disregard the false report circulating in the media.
It's obvious that their motive is just to distract this House. We are one united family. The 25 PDP honorable members are fully with our governor. We are strongly committed to the agenda of Mr. Governor. And I want to use this opportunity to tell the general public that we are loyal to the governor and we are loyal to our party, PDP.
In their separate remarks, lawmakers from the Ife-Ejesa zone and Osun's Western Editorial districts, Honorables Adeyemi Adewumi, Obokun State Constituency, Honorable Olumide Fatumisi, Ife East State Constituency, Honorable Abiola Wahid, Iriwole Shokan State Constituency, and Honorable Rabi Atanda, Iwo State Constituency, jointly stated that the opposition in the state had missed the targets.
I'm from Obokun State Constituency, that's Obokun Riade Federal Constituency, and I remain in PDP. I remain committed to the governor, the leader of our party, People's Democratic Party, under the leadership of OSBC.
We, the lawmakers from Ife Federal Constituency, remain with Senator Adeleke. Come 2026, we shall deliver him, inshallah.
They maintain that at no point did any PDP member from the Ife-Ejesa zone or elsewhere engage in talks or hold meetings with opposition parties in the state. According to them, their loyalty remains organic, solid, intact, and unwavering.
Even a blind man can see that the infrastructural drive in Osun State now is turning our state to a new marker. So what do we have to be afraid of? The people are with us. We are all grassroots politicians. Our people back home, we have their support. So I believe that we'll deliver.
The lawmakers concluded by reaffirming their dedication to legislative agenda and to Governor Adeleke's developmental vision for Osun. Oluwatosin Oladogun, OSBC News.
In the meantime, Osun State Governor Senator Adeleke has lauded a seasoned politician and a veteran journalist, Alhaji Taylor, conveying a political structure that will enhance the development of Iwo land. He gave the commendation while launching the book titled Iwo Land, the Dungeon of Political Poverty, held at in Iwo. The report is presented from our studio.
Governor Ademola Adeleke, alongside former State Deputy Governor Iyola Omishore, the National Secretary, APC, Senator Bashir Ajibola, former Secretary to the State Government, Alhaji Fatai Akibade, Oluwo of Iwo Land, serving and past senators, member House of Representatives, other political icons from both the PDP and APC, has extolled the virtues embedded in a veteran journalist, Alhaji Liat Tela, the author of the book titled Iwo and the Dungeon of Political Poverty, unveiled to enhancing the development of Iwo Land. Governor Adeleke, represented by the Commissioner for Water Resources, Honorable Olufemi Oroniyi, eulogized Alhaji Leatela, the Asiwaju Musulumi of Iwo Land, for unveiling the structure that will shape the political behavior towards enhancing the development of the famous town. The National Secretary, APC, alongside the chairman of the occasion, Senator Iyola Omishore, Prince Dr. Babayemi, Alhaji Fatai Akibade, Honorable Lukman Mutashiru, emphasized the need for the people of Iwo Land to take note of the challenges hindering the development of the town, as stated by the book reviewer, who is a vice chancellor of a reputable university in Abuja, Professor Mahmoud Adedimeji, in order to further move Iwo Land forward. Professor Adedimeji had admitted that Iwo is a dungeon of political poverty, noting its active participation in politics since 40 years ago with little returns, noting that Iwo has not been privileged to have a state governor, minister, and other top political position. According to him, the book called for a political rebirth as the challenges dividing the town is surmountable. Earlier, the author of the book, who is also the Asiwaju Musulumi of Iwo Land, Alhaji Liat Tela, appreciated the renowned Akosa Publisher Limited for making his dream come to reality, urging readers to put the knowledge gained in the book into good use. The chairman of the Akosa Publisher Limited, Dr. Akin Ogunbiyi, and its director, Honorable Femi Kehinde, went down memory lane condemning the era of politics of bitterness in the town, which has made many people left their town for safety, saying readers of the book will be challenged to take action for positive development. Other highlights of the epoch-making event included the recitation of the biography of the author by Dr. Olusegun Aina and the cultural dance presented by students of Federal College of Education, Iwo. Adebare Jimakide reporting.
The Senate has approved the federal government's 2025-2026 external borrowing plan and a grant of $65 million to fund various projects and programs of the administration of President Bola Tinubu. The Senate also approved the President's request to issue federal government's bond in the domestic debt market to settle outstanding pension liabilities at a sum of 757.98 billion naira. Similarly, the Senate approved the request for the capital raising of up to $2 billion in the domestic debt market towards implementation of the Presidential Executive Order on Foreign Currency Denominated Instruments, local issuance program by the Debt Management Office. The requests were considered and passed following the recommendation by the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debt, chaired by Senator Ali Wamako. However, some senators, including Adeleke, raised concerns over the repayment conditions of the loans. Senator Adetokunbo Abu and the chairman, Senate Committee on Finance, Senator Sani Musa, defended the loan, arguing that the conditions were both friendly and flexible. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, has revealed that the revised GDP figures offer a more accurate view of the nation's economic landscape. Mr. Edun welcomed the release of Nigeria's 2024 base gross domestic product figures and the first quarter 2025 GDP growth rate of 3.13% as strong indicators of the country's economic resilience and growing momentum. A statement issued by the Federal Ministry of Finance, the minister commended the National Bureau of Statistics for completing the country's first GDP rebasing exercise since 2014, noting that the process aligns with global standards and offers a more current and comprehensive reflection of Nigeria's economy. Speaking of the significance of the rebasing, Mr. Edun noted that the revised GDP figures offer a more accurate view of the nation's economic landscape. He further stated that its evolving economic profile reinforces the federal government's strategy of prioritizing investment in productivity, enhancing infrastructure, digital innovation, and human capital development to drive sustainable growth and job creation. The federal government has declared that there will be no going back on the full transition of the National Examinations Council, West Africa Examinations Council, and other public examination bodies from paper pencil to computer-based test mode of examination by 2026. Minister of Education Dr. Olatunji Elausa stated this during the monitoring of the pilot CBT Senior School Certificate Examination conducted by NECO at Samson International School, Maitama, Abuja, reacting to complaints by the public on the lack of adequate infrastructure to support the phasing out of paper pencil examinations. Elausa disclosed that both privately owned CBT centers and those belonging to public institutions will be fully deployed in the conduct of the examinations. The minister upheld NECO for the seamless conduct of the pilot phase of the CBT SSC said that in the future, school-based SSCs would be moved to designated CBT centers rather than being within schools. The Nigerian Air Force, in collaboration with the Osun State Broadcasting Corporation OSBC, has organized a workshop on artificial intelligence for students of some selected schools in Osun State. The Permanent Secretary and Director General of Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Mrs. Jolade Ibarola, said the corporation is fulfilling its responsibility by promoting digital literacy. Our reporter, Oluchi Amda, completes the story.
The maiden edition of the workshop on ways to leverage artificial intelligence to solve human challenges and expand knowledge, organized by the Nigerian Air Force in collaboration with the Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, OSBC, held at the Nigerian Air Force Officers' Mess, Ibokun Road, Osogbo, brought together students and teachers from some selected schools in the state. In his opening remarks, the Director General, Air Force Research and Development Institute, Air Vice Marshal Pius Ohimiri, who was represented by the Director of Armament Research, Air Vice Marshal A. Bolt, stated that the program is timely and in tune with the 21st century technological innovations and advancements. He urged the participants to remain resolute in their quest for knowledge. In her keynote address, the Permanent Secretary and Director General, Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, OSBC, Mrs. Jolade Ibarola, who was represented by the Public Relations Officer of the corporation, Mr. Benga Faminu, reiterated the commitment of the state-owned media conglomerate to fulfilling its primary responsibility of informing, educating, and entertaining its teeming audience all over the world. She added that the station will not relent in its effort to promote digital literacy that will propel growth and development of the state and the country at large. In his presentation, the resource person, Flight Lieutenant Tosi Obina, explained that artificial intelligence, AI, is the stimulation of human intelligence in machines to enable them learn, build, and act as humans, adding that AI helps machines to learn and perform new tasks effectively. He encouraged the participants to key into the AI revolution because of its profound impact on human lives. One of the participating students, Aliyah Abiola, expressed appreciation to the organizers of the event for the opportunity to learn about robotics, AI programming language, among others. The event provided an avenue for participants to interact meaningfully, ask questions, and explore the enormous opportunities embedded in the usage of artificial intelligence. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
You are welcome to our sports segment. Bayern of South Africa head coach Desiree Ellis has blamed missed chances for a side loss to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. The defending champions fell to a disappointing 2-1 defeat against the Super Falcons in the semi-final contest at the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations on Tuesday night. Nigeria took the lead through Rasheedat Ajibade, who converted a penalty late in the first half. Linda Buhari leveled for South Africa from another penalty on the hour pass. South Africa had chances to win the game afterwards, but were let down by the poor finishing. Michelle Alozie broke their hearts with a late winner for Nigeria. Alice said they were desperate to win the game and claim a second consecutive title. Nigeria will now meet Morocco in the final of the competition, while South Africa will battle the Black Queens of Ghana for third position. And coming from the foreign scene, the United Kingdom has sanctioned 25 targets involved in alleged people smuggling under a new financial sanctions regime targeting those facilitating the travel of refugees and migrants across English Channel via small boats. The individuals and entities targeted today include a small boat supply in Asia and gang leaders based in the Balkans and North Africa, middlemen putting cash through the Hawala money transfer system in the Middle East, which is used in payments linked to channel crossings and also targeted. It is unclear how effective the new sanctions regime will be, since British authorities can only freeze assets that are in the UK, and most of the smugglers are based elsewhere. The Foreign Secretary, David Lamb, said it was a landmark moment in the government's work to tackle organized immigration crime and reduce irregular migration to the UK. The move follows legislation being introduced under the Border Security, Asylum and Immigration Bill to ramp up enforcement powers for police forces and partners to investigate and prosecute people smugglers. Now that ends the major report on OSBC TV. It was edited by Michael Adeleke. Thank you for watching. I am Musrayo Ayiba saying good night.
oníṣòwò ńláńlá ẹjọ́ TV channel o lè jọjà yìí tàyẹ sọ fún wọn. OSBC lókè balẹ̀ yìí channel 32 UHF náà lẹ̀ sọ. channel 32 UHF ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá síbẹ̀ wọn. OSBC channel 32 kì í náà ṣe níbẹ̀ gan òjijì tún lè ṣàdùnrẹ́ ṣe ọmọ. wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ àsìkò ní yájọ́ra àjò tó kọ́ ní lọ́gbọ́n lọ́lọ́kan òjò kan àwọn orin àsìkò tó tún bá gbàmú gidi ẹ ṣe publicity fún business tí a jáwó ìwọ lọ rí wọn tún lè ṣàdó bàbá ọgbọ́n ṣòkòrò kí lókè balẹ̀ náà wà ó ṣòkòrò kí lókè balẹ̀ náà wà ó.